All right, yeah, chief.
All right, well, I will be very brief.
Sheriff.
I appreciate you guys making time for it. Actually, what I wanted to present was, just to let you guys, be aware of our promotional process for the patrol lieutenant. Obviously, when I take over as sheriff, I've made it clear that I was going to appoint Matt as my chief deputy. That will create a opening in our current patrol lieutenant's position. So we held a process, and Cody Lake, who is currently one of our sergeants, has been chosen to replace Matt as our patrol lieutenant. And I did send the paperwork down, so human resource payroll has all of that. I just wanted to let you guys be aware that January 1st, that was going to take place. Considering he is a sergeant, we have started the process for accepting applications to fill that. At some point in the future, once all the dust is settled and all the promotions have been made, we'll do a more formal promotional ceremony for all of them, and we'll certainly extend an invitation to the commissioners to attend that if you would so desire. But I just wanted to give an opportunity in case any of you had any questions about Cody or his work history or experience or any of that. That was it.
I make a motion that we approve the promotion of Cody Lake to patrol lieutenant effective January 1.
Okay.
That's it.
Now, will he be doing the car buying and stuff like that, like Matt did, or is that something? Because I know Matt knows people, so
Yeah.
it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Hasn't got us cars any sooner.
No,
his fault.
it has not. Although we did get our 5 Fords in finally. They came in the other day, so it's only been almost 18
But now,
months.
will Cody do that, or would Matt continue to?
Cody will probably pick up the bulk of it, but obviously Matt will work with him for a while to get him introduced to the right people that he needs to know for bid processes and trades and how to do that whole process. So there'll be a bit of a learning curve for Cody for a year or so, I'm sure, to get through the cycle of everything that he needs to know, but Matt will be right there with him.
So are we all caught up on cars now?
No.
If I am, well, the 5 that we just got, if I am not mistaken, were the 5 that we actually ordered last year. So we are still lagging behind.
Like 3 or 4?
Well, I mean, we've just got authority for next year for 5. I think last year we ordered 4, which I think are still in the pipeline.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
But we had money squirreled away.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. So we've been behind now for, well, going into
Since COVID.
my third
Yeah.
year, I think now that we've been behind.
It's encouraging they're in.
Yeah, we least got those in, so that'll catch us up a little bit, but you can
Now,
definitely tell that that we've held vehicles much longer than we traditionally do, because the ones that we've traded in, we've got extremely.
Well, you got
low
to be
value
wearing
on.
out, you know, we've been what?
Well, you're worried about that.
Year and 9?
Did we get pickups or SUVs this time?
Their pickups, Ford came out with a new pursuit rated Ford pickup truck. And I think they're doing similar to what Dodge did when they rolled out their new line. They kept their price down, very competitive. So Ford came out with theirs and actually beat Dodge in their pricing. I don't know how long that will last, but for as long as it has, we decided to go with the Fords while they're a little bit cheaper.
Straight gas, right?
Straight gas, yes.
Straight gas, yeah.
Oh. But Kelly and Trish have the information on Cody, because there'll be a pay increase and stuff to make sure it's in payroll.
That's all been
Yeah,
sent down.
Trish is nodding. I appreciate that.
So that should all be taken care of. I just wanted to let you all know and answer any questions you might have.
No
That's it.
questions.
No.
Awesome. Well, hope
We'll
you'll have a good one.
save them all to the next meeting.
All right.
Okay, I'll just email. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you all have a great new year.
You too.
Thank you, you as well.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Trish.
Morning. So this morning, actually, as of yesterday, our county checkbook has $1,958,646.10. The jail checkbook has $808,152.24. The TAN is completely paid off. It was paid off on the 5th of December. The total interest that we paid was $28,094. You'll notice that our expenses, oh, and I apologize, I did not notice that. The expended percentage says 96%. That should have been cleaned off. I apologize for that. The county expenses say 125%, and the reason is because there were certain bills that were due before the next warrant,
Okay,
and I wanted to get them cleaned up. So that's why it looks
instead of
like
carrying them over.
next year I will try to come up with a better plan so that looks more correct. But that's why. And then revenue is 105.77% for county. Jail expenses are 90% and revenue is at 105.37% for jail. All the towns have paid their taxes. Here are your warrants.
Okay,
Your numbers are ready to go on.
these are the same numbers, right?
I hope.
Yeah, I always double check. It's okay.
Correct. They
I
are.
do.
They are the same.
It's
numbers.
easy to read. Right. Well,
I move that we accept the financials.
yeah, and
Oh,
you
I'm
can,
sorry. I'll second that we accept the financials.
all in favor?
Yep.
Trish, can you hang around, after we do the warrants, because we gotta reposition some?
Yes, sir. And I have a bunch of things still to go over with you once you do. finish the
Okay,
warrants.
good,
Yes,
very
sir.
good.
Thank you.
So we'll do the, general fund accounts payable reserve warrant for. Here, so let's see, $404,122.82.
Well done. That's this one.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the MCRC accounts payable reserve warrant for $121,871.67.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Oh,
Yes.
Oops.
I gotta watch you. Oh, it's because she hasn't changed it. Okay. That's okay. Look, I made it look like mine.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
All
so
right.
sorry about that. I'll make sure that gets fixed.
Nah, I'm
You
still
know
on our
what I think
toes.
Is the last one it didn't get saved on the computer, and that's when I changed it. So I apologize. I didn't even notice. Okay, so it has come to my attention that it doesn't appear that we officially voted me in as the finance director in any of our minutes. So I request that you will vote me in retroactive back to, is it October 19th? I believe. I don't.
Till your start date. Let's put
Yes,
it that
start
way.
date. If you put that, then we can, yeah,
And then I'll put the correct date in the minutes.
great, thank you.
So for the official record, I'll make it a motion that we accept and hire Patricia Parker as our finance director for Waldo County, effective date of the date of hire, I guess.
You have a second? All in favor?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're perfectly legal.
Yep,
Okay,
you work for us.
perfect. I've been collecting a paycheck. I would like to have you entertain and vote to accept the TAN bid from the first, which came in at 4.9%.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
That was First National.
The first, yes,
Yes.
First National, yes, ma'am. And I'll make sure you get all of everything. Secondly, I would request that you approve that we move all our accounts or the bulk of our accounts how should I word that? Per my. What's the word?
Recommendation.
Yes, recommendation, to the first as well, because we are going to collect 3.8% revenue interest on all accounts guaranteed for the entire year.
Wow,
Yeah, that's a good deal.
that's a great deal.
So moved.
Second,
All in favor?
um,
Good deal, Trish.
well done.
Well done,
Thank
yeah.
you, thank you. Okay, so, the opioid settlements. So far, we have collected $105,151.04. That is at this time sitting in our general fund. I would like to move that into its own, reserve account.
Hmm.
Um,
That definitely should.
Yeah,
Should
should be a while. but-
I almost wonder if we shouldn't just create.
that's what I'm going to do.
That's what you're doing.
Okay,
That's what
yeah,
I'm going to do.
yep. Create a specific account.
Yeah.
And I'm
For
gonna
that.
call it a opioid settlements.
Yep,
We're
And I'll
gonna
get to the rest of that.
what, yeah, yeah.
I also haven't, written anything up for $1,000 that was agreed to give the Belfast Police.
Yeah,
So that whatever account then.
I believe, excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt. I believe that I did find it's already been approved to pay
Yeah, it
that.
was.
Right, yes,
So, yes, as soon as I get it in an account,
we'll put it, and then.
actually, I'll probably pay it out of the general fund and then move
Okay.
the balance into.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just didn't want to be forgotten, but I.
We wouldn't forget you.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
needed to come out of some
Yeah,
account.
I was aware, so, and I'm going to make sure
Yeah.
pay
I was kind of waiting for.
1,000, and that was to Belfast.
Creative Coalition.
Right, okay, thank you. So, do I need a vote on that
Yes, we do.
to move the money to a reserve account, its own reserve?
Yeah,
Right, yes,
Motion,
yeah, I'll make that a motion.
second, Ben,
yes.
all in favor?
Yep.
Okay, so, and just to follow up from previous conversations that we've had, I am creating, so the spreadsheet that you're used to looking at, that says capital reserve, and then it has all those lines. Each one of those lines will have its own bank account. So we will not run into the issue ever again of questioning how much money there is in there and what happened.
Yeah, that's a
It will
good
be
idea.
a very cut and dry. My plan is to, any money that needs to come out of any reserve will be done at the end of each month.
As it should be.
It will come through on your warrant, you will sign on it, and I am creating a book. It will have the bank statement because it will only have that one account. It will show money that went in and money that came out, along with my computer program that shows exactly what was supposed to happen. So it should be very, very cut and dry. It'll be a lot different looking than you're used to. But I think once you get used to it. So that is my plan. So when I said I'm gonna move that into its own account. So I am in the process of that. Just to bring you all up to date, I've already got my finance program checks. So I am ready to go. And ARPA money has already been, I don't know if I needed to vote for ARPA money, did I? To move, I think we did all accounts, didn't we, to move?
Yeah.
ARPA money is already there, already collecting that 3.8. So I'm looking forward.
A wild example, because I don't know if Betty
Oh, let me
was
tell-
aware, I was in that day. Previously, we were receiving what, $111, 111. For interest on that ARPA money,
So ARPA had approximately 4.5 million in that account, okay?
and that's what we
We
were
were
getting for
collecting
interest.
somewhere around $111. When I came on board in October, I went down to Camden National, I talked to them, and they increased to 1.5 from, I believe it was 0.3. And then I talked to them again in a week or so, and they increased to 1.75. Now, the next month, our revenue interest on that amount that was in the account was $5,200 from 111.
Pretty crazy, huh?
Now, we're moved up to First National. It's more than double. So I expect in the ballpark of around $10,000 a month in interest just for the ARPA account. Also, so that you understand, because I needed an education as well. It does not matter if all the money is in one account or if there's $1 in every account. You get the same amount per dollar that's
Gotcha.
in. So by dividing these accounts all out into separate reserves, we're still gonna collect the same amount of money. So it's not volume based. If that makes sense. Okay, did you want me to talk about the money we wanted to move?
Yeah, let's move money to the insurance account, get that over with. $250,000.
And yes, sir. Also, I did speak with Malcolm. And I found that the checking account or cash account that they draw out of all the time collects no interest.
But it's gonna.
I also found out that two CDs that we have, and I apologize, I did not bring those numbers in.
Well, I don't.
But you're aware of how much they are.
Yeah.
One of them was collecting 1.05, the other one was collecting, I believe, 0.45. I've spoken with Malcolm. There's no problem in moving these accounts to First National. I've spoken to First National and we will collect the 3.8% on those accounts. And or it will be one account. We don't need the CD.
Yeah.
So, and I will be able to move the money directly from our account. I won't have to write a check and
Yeah.
send it down. It will, I can just move it directly.
Well,
So,
let's have a motion to move that to,
I wanna see what the year end,
I have,
Amount.
I'll make that motion.
400,000.
year end amount for,
4?
year end amount for what?
I was looking for the total remaining
For,
budget.
oh. I don't know what it is. It's.
So there
What's
is,
that?
Yeah, say there's
We don't need. to
two
have-
CDs that are just coming up shortly for what, 150,000 apiece, or somewhere around there.
Somewhere in that
So we
ballpark.
can move 250,000, so you can invest it. Just make Malcolm aware of these transactions. So
Malcolm and I are working together.
all of them will come through her from now on.
Malcolm is going to have access online to that account
Yeah.
so he can see what's going on with
Yeah.
it. He also sends me the checks that are written out of that account by Merritt.
Malcolm will be a huge asset to you.
And so I will be able to actually balance the check
Yeah.
account myself.
I don't know what your motion was and I don't think it was finished.
Motion was moved $250,000 to the insurance account.
From where?
General fund,
From general fund.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
150,000?
250.
From the general fund to where again?
The insurance
That's
account.
insurance.
Our new health insurance account. Also, I put this together so that you could see where we are. I know it's tiny, I apologize. It's just a reference. So that you can see, these are those accounts we were talking about that you're used to looking at on your spreadsheet.
On the spreadsheet, yeah.
And believe me, it's so small, I have to get my glasses. So
Chris, we talked about some other repositioning.
we did, and that's why I passed this out.
Okay, why don't you do the lead on that?
We didn't vote.
Okay, no.
Oh, I'm
we-
sorry.
We need the second, you did. second,
Yeah.
Right?
Look at me
Yep.
jumping ahead.
Put in 50 from the general fund to the health insurance.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I apologize. Bill, we talked about a total of 500 to the health account.
We're
but
gonna
we're
do
gonna
that
250,
two
you wanna-
steps,
You want to do?
February, March, we do the second one.
You want to do the vote then?
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
good, okay.
I wanted the more concerned with at the moment of those positions we talked about the other day, that the money that has to be, there's some accounts that are on the balance for whatever
Correct.
reason we need to correct that.
So you will notice that the third account down is called restricted reserve. And that has 6 accounts in it. The
Yep.
bank, pardon me?
Yeah, okay.
The bank says, the spreadsheet says we have 198,000 and change in there. The bank says there's 108,000. What I've discovered is, that, when it's put through in your warrants to move the money, the work did not get completed throughout the year. So, it's already been voted on, so I will be moving money to make that account where it should be. It's already been approved and voted. It just didn't ever get moved. So I wanted to make sure you understood that. Bill and I discussed in the, was it the first account? Yes, the first account, the capital reserve. Down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The technology. Which is 0162 0265. Okay, you'll notice that on the spreadsheet that shows as a negative number. Now, last year, you voted to fund that by $200,000, but it was only on paper. We never actually moved any. So Bill and I discussed to actually move $100,000 to that particular account because it's going to be in its own bank account now, so it has to have a positive amount. And down near the bottom, you'll see there's a county savings account of $390,000, $390,804.06. We discussed moving $100,000 out of that account into the technology account.
Say
that
that
make
again, what
sense?
account is it coming from?
County savings, way down at the bottom. There's a county savings account of $390,804.06. As far as I can see, and Bill agreed, we do not have that money earmarked for anything. So we felt that would be a good spot. Since you'd already decided you wanted to have the money in that technology account, that's a good spot to grab it.
So how much is gonna?
100,000.
100,000.
Okay. Does that make sense, Bill?
Yes,
Yep.
okay, we'll have a motion on that.
So we're gonna move 100,000 from county savings to 0265 technology.
Right, for the technology.
Or did you get that?
Yes, 100,000 from the county savings to technology.
I'll second.
All in favor of the motion? Thank you.
The last thing I have is, again, we're gonna grab some money from that savings. You will notice in the active reserve, the second one down, there is a severance assistance account, which is 5 down.
Yep.
0154 0254.
Yep.
And that is for when we have to do any buyouts, for sick time, that kind of thing, extra payroll that is not really planned. You can see that that account is also in the negative. So we would like to move $100,000 from the county savings again into that account to fund it.
Okay, so what account is it moving into?
The severance,
Severance,
active
Right,
reserves.
right there.
see it?
And how much?
100,000.
100,000.
Did you understand, Barb?
To severance.
All right, I'll make that motion.
Okay, thank
to
you.
Move the 100,000
Second,
from our county savings to severance.
Barb, you got that?
Yes.
I'll second it.
all in favor?
So it will leave 190,804.06 in that account.
Plus interest, which I won't have
Right.
until
Okay.
the end of the month. My plan is that once all of these accounts, everyone that's listed here, okay, on the left-hand side, will be moved individually into its own account into the first, sometime next week. I have to do payroll on Tuesday,
Sure.
so I'm not sure what day I'll be available. But they will all be in their own bank account, and it will be set up so we don't have this issue.
Do we have a deficit in probate or something? to
Yeah,
it?
deeds.
Deeds.
I thought deeds.
I'm sorry, where are we at?
I mean, perhaps you found it or it was corrected, but I remember you speaking to me about that,
Deed surcharge.
yeah,
What I found was that I had not correctly loaded into the computer when I took her check from her to
okay.
put it in to, the surcharge, so that is being corrected.
Okay. but
Nothing
it's-
that you needed to vote on. It was something I should have done, and I did not do it correctly, so I fixed it.
Okay,
Still learning.
no, that's fine, that's fine, as long as that's been made whole.
Yes, that's
Okay.
been made whole, and according to her statutes, that's supposed to be in its own account anyway.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's another good reason that everything will be in their own account. The last thing I want to go over with you is, so at the very top, because I like to do things backwards. This morning, the very top line, 0001 County General Fund, that is the account that we write checks out of. This morning, it had $1,956,907.19. Accounts payable that we just did, that I'm getting ready to mail out, would be the next column, 209,000. I'm not gonna read all these numbers out. And then Maine PERS is, has come out, Maine PERS Life. I still have to move. Remember, I told you that I had to make whole that, active, restricted reserve that has already been voted on, so there's 100,000. Vehicle purchase is coming out of, $97,381 is coming out of the general fund, out of his budget. And the rest is coming out of his, vehicle emergency replacement. Then the opioid money is coming out.
It's going in its own account, yeah,
Yep, and then we had discussed moving 500,000.
but we're gonna do 250
We're gonna
now.
do 250. But we plan to move the other 250 in a couple of months.
But for truthful numbers, do we want to make it reflect that it's just 250 and not the 500?
Yes,
Okay,
and so you can see what is left in the, and I'll do a fast calculation for you. $1,139,562.38. Now, of course, those numbers are not exact because there'll be checks that have not cleared.
Right.
That kind of thing, but that gives you an idea as to what we have going in to start the first of the year. So I anticipate. Won't have to start borrowing from the TAN until I'm very much hoping the middle to the end of February. Is my plan. And then the next line down is the jail, just so you can see what's in there. Once everything comes out with today's number, we're gonna have approximately $675,000 in the jail fund.
and the payroll, there's no payroll, anything remaining to come out of that?
That's already adjusted. So, payroll is now, going to be coming out of the account correctly. It's a bookkeeping change. It's not really, relevant to you hearing, but it will make the numbers a little bit easier to look at. And like I said, once I get this all done, by the end of January, you will have the new system in front of you. And we can go over it, and I think you're gonna find it much easier.
Chris, one thing we haven't talked about this morning. You and I talked about it, and you had a plan that didn't sound too bad, but I'd like to have you restate it if you would. The interest for this year was way off. I mean,
In our budget,
we missed that by a country mile.
Elaine was budget
So,
committee member that saw
I
that.
anticipate the interest being, depending on how we have to borrow, because this is my first year at doing it, and I haven't played with it yet, so I anticipate the interest for the TAN to be somewhere between $120,000 and $160,000.
And we only budgeted,
And we budgeted $19,000. Just to put it in perspective. If we borrow the full $5,500,000 out of TAN the first day of the year and went until the last day of the year, the interest would be $265,880. So I feel very secure that I'm not that far off as to what I expect it to cost.
So you're expecting it to cost,
Somewhere between $120,000 and $160,000. I'm really hoping it's gonna be closer to 100. But I just don't know how everything.
But here's one of the huge,
I think it
Kickers.
will be.
here's one of the huge positives is where we had money sitting in accounts before. That was earning Zippo
Exactly.
for
So,
interest,
What
like
we,
a particular account, and I'm saying this for Elaine's benefits, because she is a budget committee member. That this particular large amount of money was earning $111, that's it, a month.
on that 3.5.
And
So-
just since she's made a change, it's earning 5,200.
In
in a
1
month.
month, and I expect the end of December, well, no, that's not true. The end of January, we will be around 10,000.
So I
For
mean,
that
I
1
think,
month for interest.
I think that she's gonna recover us on a lot. with
Which is
the interest
exactly
that
what we talked about.
We'll,
I believe that I spoke with Dale. I understand that the interest from the ARPA account, which is the big one. We
Yeah.
will make interest on everything else. It's just not gonna be the volume that one makes. Also depends on how quick they end up spending the money. They could end up spending all that money before the end of the year and this plan doesn't work as well. But ideally, Dale says the interest that we make on that account belongs to us.
is ours.
We can do what with it as we please. So I believe that if you consider $10,000 a month.
It will
That
save
makes
us.
$120,000 for the year.
Remember,
I'm
you-
going to say, let's count half.
Yeah.
So that's 60,000. And then I believe I'm hoping we're gonna be somewhere around the $100,000 range. For the
The other thing I was
interest to
thinking
do in
about,
can. So if we budgeted 19,000, now we only have to come up with around 20,000. That's my thoughts.
but now we made a deal. Which is a good deal, really, this is a really good deal. With the content, we were gonna build a new tower. With $100,000. We had moved that $100,000 to build that new tower. Well, we got, tried to negotiate with the company on the lease and they were ridiculous, so. Mike went to another company and started looking around and they wanted $20,000 for a lease. He said he wasn't interested, and they wanted $30,000 for a lease, and he said he wanted interested. He got it down to $18,000. At that point, we were very interested because it's gonna cost us $5,000 for a new location plus the tower. Why don't we consider taking some of that money, which was, there's no need for it to sit there idle all the time and put like $50,000 to the interest account. And then the comm center is not gonna use it anyway.
Where is that money, Bill?
It's
It's under
should be,
ARPA,
It's in ARPA?
it should be under ARPA. It's
yeah,
under ARPA,
yeah.
but can I just say, I mean. Instead of moving it at this point, Bill, what if she just makes a notation in there under the tower thing? Make a notation that, will,
We're not making.
yeah, we're not gonna take it, I don't wanna, do you know what I
We're not-
mean? I get what you're saying, it's on the same interest, no matter where it
I
is.
think
but-
Yeah.
Yeah.
though, to take
Yeah,
it out.
so
But
so you're just gonna say,
If we're short on interest, it would be a good place to take
Oh, yeah.
the money from.
Yeah.
Because there's no use for it.
very good. Yes, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
So it would be cleaner though, just to take it out and put it in
Yeah.
permanent,
Yeah,
you know, and then.
So-
Then
that's
there's
what we're done with.
The
push.
ARPA money is
Yeah.
all in one account. Even though you have it designated for different things, it's all in one account. So that's the one that's drawing the big interest. So, yeah, but keep in the back of our minds that that's what you're thinking
Yeah.
is to cover that TAN interest with that.
The numbers should reflect it, it's in there.
If you had like
Yes, ma'am.
$50,000 you use towards the interest. The program you're under on interest, that would be this interest was a horrendous error. And I don't know how that, we didn't keep up with that while it was occurring because we talked about it several times.
So next year, when it comes budget time, I will be all
Yeah.
over that. And of course, you can't guarantee what it's going to be. It did change a lot from June to December.
Oh,
Yeah.
but we could see that
It's
spiral.
still, yeah, it still was, would have been somewhere in the 2.5 range.
Mhm.
So, which was still double what we were used to pay. And if you had budgeted 40,000 instead of 19, that certainly would have been a big help. And I just want to make sure that what I said about interest and using the interest and paying it on the ARPA interest, not ARPA, I'm sorry, TAN interest is a idea. It may not work. It's all in projection, the way I see things are gonna happen. If we end up having to borrow a whole lot more money, a whole lot quicker out of the TAN account, then the interest is gonna be higher. But I will present ideas as we go, is my plan. If I can come up with a way to move some different money so that we don't have to take it from TAN so quickly. That is what I plan to do. I think that's all I had.
Well, that's a good job. High fives to you.
No, appreciate,
We're on the right track.
appreciate very much.
You're very welcome, and on the note of Kelly and HR, I have been doing payroll. So I am prepared to do payroll until the next person comes
And when I
in.
spoke to Kelly this morning, and she said the only things that would be a pain is if there was an employee that was increasing in pay or position or whatever, and you heard the sheriff bring that up and.
We've already actually handled that because we can predate different pay raises. So she and I have gone over all that. I do know how to change all that anyway. I think my big issue is going to be where I'm gonna have trouble is these 2 holidays come on this next pay. And if the sheriff's office and the jail, they work those times and how that's where I'll struggle a little bit. Other than that, it shouldn't be a big problem for me. So I've done a lot of payroll, so.
When you're going into the first of the year, Kelly, you mean the truth? There'd be no colas for the jail until probably late January, maybe into February.
No, what for the jail?
Colas. No cost of living increases.
Oh, yes,
Because they
and
just
yes,
don't
and
have a signed
I am
contract.
aware of that,
We
yes.
called their rep and we offered to sign. If he would call and have a Zoom meeting with them. Well, I can't get up there to January, February. Well, guess what? We're tired of your wants and can't do this and can't do that. So you will do it this way.
I would make a suggestion that when you do finally sign, do not make it retroactive to the first year.
That's what I'm talking
Make it
about.
as of the day they sign.
That's what I'm, just exactly what I'm talking
Very
about.
good.
You didn't want to pay attention and get it signed up before the end of the year. So you can sit there without it for a while. See how you like it.
That's very sad for the employees that the
Right.
union is doing that to them. That's very sad.
Well, this guy moves the goalpost all the time. He'd be a great guy to manage a football game, but the goalpost was always being sight.
I can't think of anything else that I had. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I think you're doing a good job.
Oh, I think outstanding. Very much appreciate it.
Thank you.
This is very good.
I should mention that I did do a second thing of training with Northern Data. So I am prepared to close the year. Let's hope we do it with no mistakes, but I feel pretty good about the way everything's working and
Glad to hear that.
yeah, I'm feeling,
Sorry that we've thrown you into chaos initially, but
well,
it's worked out
it
well.
made it so that I understood what needed to be changed to make it work correctly. And it wasn't fun, but it was a good thing.
It's interesting too, anyway. I think anytime new eyes are seeing things, you see a lot of the stuff that, you know, could have been, should have been, and changed or whatever, and, you know, each time it's the process.
My experience, my history is in managing money.
Mhm.
That's why you're getting the kind of things you're getting from
Okay.
me. I certainly know how to use bookkeeping programs, but when they're the way they were, it was a struggle, but I'm getting there.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes,
Doing a great
all
job.
set?
All set.
Well
Right.
done.
I'm gonna get a donut and I'm gonna,
There you go.
Take two.
actually, I'm gonna stay for the rest.
Take the box if you like.
Hey, hey,
That's
hey.
the kind
Hey,
of-
Colleen and I are done.
That's right.
No, way.
What?
You know the way to the mountain. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'll trip her.
Yes.
I'll trip her.
I've decided that I'm gonna stay for all your meetings because I think there's a lot of information that I need to get.
Sure.
Nice, good, thank you.
Do you want to sit at the corner of the table so you don't have to straddle in case you gotta write something down? That would make sense.
It's okay.
I don't know, just thinking, saying.
Why you sit up there?
I'm also thinking, I'm just gonna throw this out, okay? But a lot of times we take a matching portion of our health insurance from our jail account.
Yep,
And we didn't.
we'll
So,
do it, we'll do it at the,
do you want to wait on that or do
Yeah.
we want to do some now?
well,
Why don't we do it in the next one?
yeah,
We're
it's
planning
true.
to do? And the reason,
Because we can easily do that, so, okay,
and
good.
the reasoning behind it is to try to, why move the money? It's gonna collect the same interest. Why move the money and then take a chance that we have to borrow from the TAN when we have it? Was my thought. That's why I suggested let's wait until, February or March before we move the other 250. Now, if we need it, we need it, but.
But we need to at some point make sure we do, because the jail has to fund its own health insurance.
well, we got it on the books,
Yep.
Commissioner Paul. What are you thinking about it?
But that's a great suggestion. I'm glad you said that.
Okay, so I guess Tricia, we're done with you. For the time being, maybe when you get all the transactions done, no hurry. You can shoot me an email that whether how level the playing field is,
You want to know if my numbers were right?
yeah. But I like the idea of individual account,
Absolutely.
and like I said the other day, we needed to take 180,000 because Dale's suggested we create an account for that. Project we're doing on the jail for Fuller, from
Mhm.
ARPA funds and put it in a dedicated account and Keith, comes up next week and get that started. I think Kevin voted on that because we're gonna be down the road quite a ways. Then maybe halfway through the year, we'll be pretty well built onto the garden. We'll know where we are if we want to do any more or not.
And next meeting, and I meant to mention this, I will get you, Dale has built a beautiful spreadsheet
He is incredible.
for ARPA. And I will print that off, so you each have that, so you
Sure.
can see exactly what's going on, and everything in that spreadsheet and in the bank account is right to the penny.
We made very, very good use of those funds. We got a lot of work accomplished that we wouldn't have gotten done with. It didn't fall on the back of the taxpayers,
Mhm.
of Waldo County, so I feel good about that.
Mhm.
Waldo County continues to be in good shape.
Could I ask a question, Bill?
Yes,
Doing the warrants now, and checking the warrants, I'd like to pick that up again. So that I'm not out of the loop. So if that's okay, I don't know, if you're caught up with all the warrants. Are you caught up with all the warrants? Cause you were
Did
checking.
you
the
do
warrants.
November?
Yeah.
I can't remember if you did November or not.
What's that?
Did you do November? I can't
No,
remember.
I don't think I have
I
yet.
don't think you've done November.
Okay, I would like to pick that up again as my responsibility.
But I don't think they should leave here. I don't think.
No, I will come in.
Yeah.
I will make time to come in at certain times to do the warrant, so. That's what my plan is, so. But, yeah.
Yeah, and thank you for saying that. That would be my only request is,
yeah,
because I have to go back through them
we have to go
so
back to it,
often.
so,
Oh,
Right,
Because I'm still getting the hang of all of it.
and I didn't feel comfortable either, so. But, it did serve its purpose for.
Yeah, no, great. I'll finish up November and that way Betty's got a clean start. Okay, good.
That way I'm not completely out of the loop, because I find myself out of the loop.
I just want to say like out loud for the record. Because there are people that pay attention to this. At no point in time, Betty, have we kept you out of the loop. We email you for everything. You know,
No,
and I mean,
just
we've
feel
made sure.
my own being able to concentrate.
Okay, but I just wanted clarification,
Out of the,
you know, so.
all of us, comparing notes or whatever. Because my mind isn't there.
Okay, no, that's good. It was actually rather interesting doing the warrants, because I had no idea how much we were spending on meds up at the jail and this and that and everything else, so it was enlightening.
How many times the wash machine?
Yeah, cool. Okay, I'll finish up November and then she can start from there.
Very good.
All right, well, I'll set on that. Bob, I guess we're up to you, and I think you would want to start executive session.
Yes, please.
Grab a donut, Elaine.
Okay.
That's won't be a long one, Elaine.
That will be.
So it's a one donut instead of a two donut.
You help yourself, it's Christmas, or New Year's.
Yeah, really, it's after Christmas.
January 3rd is coming and that's when everybody goes on a diet.
Do you mind putting that machine on when you go out?
Yeah.
If you can.
I can.
No, you got your hands.
No, I can.
Thank you.
Was you gonna restate that, motion, Commissioner Fowler?
I'm gonna make, the only action taken out of our executive session is. I'm gonna move that Barb invoice that recommendation that she had to us. Betty seconded.
All in favor? Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you. All right, I don't have a lot of correspondence for you, but we'll go through. Malcolm Ulmer, I think Commissioner Fowler is already aware of this, sent what our risk pool
Oh.
invoice will be for
Oh.
the year. $103,595.11, and you have more than enough because between the jail, it's split between the
Oh.
jail and county. We have 109,000, so that's good. You'll have 6,000 about that you hadn't figured on expending. And that turns out to be a good thing because the workers' compensation invoice came in considerably higher than the estimated for us. So I contacted the underwriter and said, what happened?
Awesome.
Yeah, I said, you folks told me round it up, it would be 89,000 and it came in at $103,453. So she.
How much?
$103,453.
Kind of makes that $3,000 check that everybody was giddy about from workman's comp rather useless.
So I said, what, how can we avoid this in the future? And she said, well, let me figure out what I based it on. And I said, well, I provided you the 2023 wages, which included the COLA. And she said, oh, that's the problem. We always base it on the 2021 audit. No one's ever told me that. I think,
2021.
yeah, that's what they base it on. So what I will have to do in the, I sat down with Trish after this and said, how do I avoid this? If they don't go on estimates because their application doesn't allow them to do that, then she goes, just double what the COLA will be and it will cover that. Anyway, I know that doesn't sound like it's logical, but it does. It is. So I know how to avoid this in the future, but it'll be a few thousand more than you expected. I apologize for that. The only other thing I have is minutes from December 1st, which I sent you back on the 20th.
Written.
Second. All approved, yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
So the workers' comp, Barb, is gonna go to what again? I am so sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll vote. I'll
103,000.
vote. I didn't mean to screw it up.
Oh, that's okay. It was estimated at 89,000.
And that was both county
we
and jail.
budgeted, yes,
Okay.
we budgeted 100,000.
Mhm.
It came in at 103,453. So that's a $3,453 deficit.
Okay.
I'm glad we at least had rounded up when we budgeted.
All in favor of accepting the minutes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Bob, continue.
I am all set. Do you have any miscellaneous business? That's where we're at now.
While we're thinking about miscellaneous, maybe Keith, the next meeting, we could vote to accept that quote on that solar project for the sheriff's building and get in line to get that done.
We have a meeting next week, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
So,
we're gonna, there was a question about a rebate or something, well, whether it's a rebate or not, we're gonna do it, so let's get it on and get it in the schedule somewhere, so we can have that project underway.
right, yeah,
Money is set aside to pay for it.
that can be on the agenda then, right?
Yeah,
Okay, what did you want on the agenda? I'm sorry.
It's over.
finalize the solar project with Keith on the sheriff's building.
Okay,
And then Dale's got, probably in July, he'll be pretty well know how he's doing on the whole project out there. And we can talk about if we want to do the roof of the big building out there, we were talking about
Right,
2
find
weeks
out where
ago.
we are and how we're gonna progress
Yeah.
during,
Yeah,
you know, this year and now, coming up.
we got a minor bump in the road that we've got to solve, so we might as well get that solved before we spend any more money.
So that's two people.
oh, so you're discussing with Dale?
You know, to call Dale in to,
Oh, I thought he said in July. He probably, oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, Dale is, this is Keith's project,
Right.
and Dale, did when we were talking about solar, got interested in some more garden projects. But I don't feel we should jump into any more until we get this project solved with the renovations in them.
but will Dale update us on what is happening out
Yes.
there and where we are
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah, yeah.
right? And let him proceed, we're gonna
and if
get.
he has a couple 100,000 left over, it's not counting the taxpayers anything, let's get it done.
And if I can interject my 2 cents worth, I anticipate that solar will come down in another year. I think the pricing will come down even more,
You think so? What makes you think that?
because it's being pushed so hard. I think there's gonna be more government funding for it. I think you're gonna find more. But I think that it's going to come down in price.
Well,
isn't working
I guess you and I have an disagreement on that. Like there's a project going on just out of Stockton up in Prospect, that the whole field
Right,
is gonna be solar.
correct.
And the water district's involved in the buying the land for wellhead protection for the users of the Sisport Water District. But we're not gonna be involved with a solar project. We'll just own the land under it, cause we don't wanna be buying for gravel, cause there's a lot of gravel there too.
Mhm.
But I think solar is gonna be,
I think it's gonna be big, and that's why.
it comes down, if it
when-
comes down,
when-
it comes down.
I think the prices are gonna start coming down. That's what I.
The reason I disagree a little bit on with you, Trish, that the solar companies are about, all of them are booked out a year in advance right now. So it's gonna be a while for the,
Like cut my sweater. So,
all right,
Okay,
so I've just got a dumb question, cause and again, I think we've learned a lot about. So. Barb, you explained that our workman's comp this coming year has increased to 103,453.
Yep.
And that we only had 89,000.
No, we budgeted 100,000. It was estimated at 89.
Okay, so.
this is 3,000.
So I don't know, I don't have this year's budget in front of me to look, but this past year, I'm showing that we had 132,300. And I'm including with that, no, 102,888. I'm including the jail and the county in that.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, she said this is what she said to me, and this is, it's kind of a twofold thing. The HR position submits different things to them. And then I asked for their budgeted estimates, so there's two people talking to them, and she said, the application they received from Kelly resulted in a 14% increase over the 2021 audit. That's really where this all came in,
okay,
and a small decrease of 0.12% from the 2022 estimated totals. So they did apply some of that. I don't know why. She said this adjusted the manual contribution, which is payroll times the rate, which in turn lowered the overall credit amount, resulting in the higher contribution. It sounds like Greek to me,
yeah, okay.
but I immediately went in and talked with Trish, and we've got a plan for next year.
So basically, workers' comp is figured
I
on.
can't hear you.
Workers' comp is figured on payroll.
Yeah.
So it's pretty. I was gonna say easy, but that's probably not the right word.
One would think
You
so.
you should be able to get a pretty good idea as to what it's going to be if you know what the rate is. It's like, I compare it to town tax, property taxes. Once
Okay.
they decide how much it is, they figure the mill rate and they times it by your, times it by your property, and that's how you figure it. Same idea with workers' comp. They go by how many employees and their pay. There's also a factor in there of how many workers' comp claims, but it's extremely minimal unless you've had a lot.
Okay,
So I'm willing to bet if we get the rate that we can figure it
Good.
ourselves.
Nice. Sounds good.
yeah. no,
And I'm thinking that probably the big difference is the pay increases.
Yeah, which I had provided to them.
so which-
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got 100,000 set aside in.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, we're only
talking
$3,000 off. It's not a huge deal, but for
Yeah.
next year, we really gotta be.
That's, yeah, exactly.
So I guess my thought is.
Adjourned.
I was just gonna say, I think I'll be involved in that this year, so.
Great, that sounds wonderful. Trish, you were wondering about the court session next week.
Oh, yes.
The first and third Thursday of each month, they have a court session.
So I've totally messed up my whole schedule. Thank you very much.
My God.
I think you need to change it.
Yeah, sure, that's not gonna happen. What do you want?
What did you say?
I said, that's not gonna happen. What do you want?
Don't ask her what she
You wanna
wanted.
go on the second?
No, I guess I didn't realize that. I went from 2 weeks from today. So I have to retype that whole thing and have you resign. Oops.
I need to read.
God, no, what?
I gotta say one thing for Barbara, but Barbara, on the first meeting next year, we'll do set up appointments again in the afternoon, like we're doing this afternoon, and take care of the remaining
I
applicants.
think there'll only be two.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so we got the applicants, we got some really good applicants for that position. I'm really pleased.
We had some fantastic ones, but I could not get them to fill out the application, and I'm sure there's a reason. Either they took another job or something happened, but
Well, they had a
I
chance.
chased them twice and then.
Yep, that's it. That's it. Good job, Barb.
Only did it twice. All right, so on the next agenda, we'll have Keith come in to finalize the solar project and Dale to give you an update on the Swanville
Yeah.
project. correct?
Yeah. And
You made a motion, right, Betty?
Yeah.
Did anyone second that?
I will second.
Thank you.
You can't. I second it,
all right, you second it.
Second it if you want.
but I say we don't vote. Let's see how long she'll wait.
Gotta get out of here.
Ugh.
So.
We're all.
I'm raising my hand.
So
Not debatable.
let's finish the conversation.
Thank you.
Basically, it's just complaining, because there is